Shalom family, it's your man Elijah. Thank you for joining me at Unsectarian Wisdom, and as usual, I'm a wise, wealthy, rich, celestial being that is loved by the Most High Creator. Let's go ahead and jump in, family. We're jumping back into the Navigator who crossed the ice walls. We are now in chapter 4. Chapter 4. The War Behind the Walls. Okay. When we were all in silence, waiting for the words of the captain, who was going to tell us something that seemed to be unique. A colossal sized craft. Hold on, my bad. When we were all in silence, waiting for the words of the captain, who was going to tell us something that seemed to be unique. A colossal sized craft loomed and seemed to be coming straight at us. One of the boys went up to see what he could spot and shouted as he descended in a violent manner, "They are coming towards us. It is something gigantic." We all panicked, but Butler ordered to remain calm. Although he remained calm, he seemed a bit nervous compared to what he had been experiencing before. This made me more uneasy. Who would be coming towards us in this giant craft? As it got closer, we did not change the north course. It had a reddish color, and as it got closer, we could see that it was more and more immense. I will not deny that I feared for my life and that of the team. I could not believe that we had just left the walls of ice behind. Something was going to prevent us from continuing to investigate this unknown ocean. I also thought that we were the only ones who had come so far in these areas. We did not know exactly the depth, but the ocean still looked dark. A deafening sound enveloped us. We could hardly stand it. It was a screeching sound like some kind of horn. Then a voice with a perfect English accent came before us saying the following: "Dear visitors from the wildlands, some of our men will come down and approach your boat. We will do you no harm. Please remain calm. Calm." This message sounded even more frightening inside me. I thought they might attack us, but it's not like we could escape from there either. This ship was gigantic and looked like something out of a fictional tale from a far future. Butler reassured us by acknowledging that he was aware that something like this could happen, to stay calm and welcome this new visitor in a kind way. 3 men were making their way to our ship. This was the first time we had ever had a visitor, and we were not even sailing in familiar waters, nor were any familiar people coming aboard. The men had white suits, and some emblems stood out on them. There was a flag flying on top of their ship, if we could call it that. Said flag was completely blue with a white circle in the center. We helped the men up, and they greeted us kindly by shaking our hands. One of them introduced himself as the captain and asked us what we were doing sailing in this area across the wall. Butler spoke for us and informed him that we were sailing around the Antarctic Circle and that a current had brought us to the other side, and that we had decided to sail through these areas to investigate it. It would be my impression at the time. Hold on, my bad, family. It would be my impression at the time, but I had noticed a certain camaraderie between Butler and the officers. Oh, my bad. My bad, I'm reading at a first grade level right now. But I had noticed a certain camaraderie between Butler and the officers. The same man turned to look at his other 2 companions, and they were amazed at such a feat. They commented among themselves that it had been a long time since they had seen something like this. He apologized for the way they should have approached us, and also for the way they had to approach, saying the following words. He explained to us the reason for this concern. "We are very sorry that your visit does not seem to be welcome. It really is, but it has been a long time since we have seen people crossing the walls. In fact, we do not know how they left them either, but it does not matter now. I will give you this map with directions on how to get to safe lands." This last sentence was not well taken, by any of the group. We looked at each other with some fear. I encouraged myself to ask then, safe lands, did you say? Are there then unsafe lands? Well, the lands where you come from are quite unsafe, replied the man standing behind. Don't worry, you will get there fine sailing in this direction. It was a unique moment to be able to understand the situation a little. I spoke again as the owner of the boat. Excuse me, where do you come from? I had millions of questions in my head. From the ancestral republic, sir. The man answered me in a bounded way, adding later, don't worry. I understand that you have many questions at this. I promise you that they will give you all the necessary information when they arrive to these lands that we indicated to you. We will inform you that they will arrive so you can receive them immediately. Hold on. I promise you that they will give you all the necessary information when they arrive to these lands that we indicated to you. We will inform you that they will arrive so you can receive them immediately. The men withdrew quickly, looking in all directions as if searching for something. The strange visit left us with more questions than answers. Butler did not hesitate for a moment, and as a great leader, he woke up the group that was still fearful and somewhat hesitant. The destination was clear now. We were heading to new lands called the Ancestral Republic. We sailed for quite a while, following the course indicated by these men. Butler indicated that it was important to follow this direction rigorously. When several of us from the team asked the captain about what he was going to tell us before the visit, he preferred not to continue with the subject, as if he had changed his mind outright. Although he told us the following: after what happened, I think we all have to open our eyes. Fortunately, we ran into these people and we can. Hold on. His mind outright, although he told us the following. After what happened, I think we all have to open our eyes. Fortunately, we ran into these people and we can. Like I said, family, this book is translated and some of the sentences, like for instance, look at this sentence right here. It just like, it doesn't even finish. It just like runs off. Hold on. See this? Yeah, look at that. Anyway. We ran into these people and we can head, hold on. We ran into these people and we can head to safe lands. I think we should not have had the same luck if it was another boat that visited us. Let's remember that there are people we left behind. Very powerful people who do not want us to be sailing these waters or knowing all this. Let's wait to arrive as soon as possible to the Republic, and then they will understand more about the situation. It is something complex, but I am glad we have crossed the walls. The journey has just begun, comrades. It is time to understand that we are in a war zone, doing something unique. The last sentence left us speechless. We all asked in unison, what do you mean in a war zone? War zone? What kind of war? What kind of war? What kind of war? All the questions were directed to the captain, who answered them all by saying, comrades, pay attention, and let's get to these lands. Indicated, everything will become clear as soon as we anchor. The temperature had changed quite a bit as we moved away from the walls. In about 30 days, the area enveloped us with a temperature climate. The temperature had changed quite a bit as we moved away from the walls. In about 30 days, the area enveloped us with a temperature climate. As indicated, we would be close to these lands. Birds of various types began to be spotted, and vegetation on the waters that were now clearer. I had an inner feeling that we were making history, forgetting a little the captain's phrase that we were in a war zone without knowing it. In that case, I would like to know who was the enemy. All right, family, that's the end of chapter 4. Thank you for joining me. Look, anyway, look, I'll catch y'all later. I forgot what I was doing. I'll see y'all next chapter, family.